with Linda Madani from Intuitive Flow in Bali. We're here in the garden of her studio with the beautiful Ganesha behind. And I've just come today to chat a little bit with Linda to find out a little bit about her journey into yoga and into healing, and then setting up this beautiful studio, which has been running since 2007.
I think it's 2007, if I remember
so that's
well.
Nearly 10 years.
Yeah, good, like 9 years, yes.
Okay.
Maybe more 2008. I think we started at the end of 2007, so it's more like, 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes fast. It just went so fast. Yeah.
And you're French originally?
I'm Canadian.
Oh, Canadian.
French-Canadian.
Oh, okay.
What we call Québécois.
Okay. So how did you originally end up in Bali in the first place?
I get asked that question very often, and it's really my destiny. I started my journey north of Thailand, and I made my way through Thailand, and then I went through Malaysia and ended up in Singapore, flew to Jakarta. I was making my way to Australia, traveled through all Java, came to Ubud, and never left.
Wow.
And that was in 1995.
Wow.
That's 21 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I never moved. I've been here. I would go to the rice field and I would say, I want to stay here forever. And, well, you have to be careful what you ask, because that's what I got.
Amazing. And was that kind of like right from the beginning? You just arrived here and you just had a feeling, okay, this is my place?
Yes, the first time I had an attraction to a land. I know now that many people have that, but I really felt this land was calling me. I was attached to that land. That's really, there was a strong attraction. Of course, I thought that it was only me who was experiencing that. And after 21 years, I know that I'm not the only one who has that experience. But I really felt a strong calling. Yeah. And that's why I know it was my destiny to be here. I really felt that everything always came into place for me to stay here. And every time I wanted to go, I would be offered a job or a project or something. Every time I tried to leave, eventually I knew that I was not going anywhere. So
it wasn't just like absolute, complete, 100% all the time. You did have some times where you're like, okay, maybe I try.
It's time to move on. Yes, I wanted to do something else, but every time something happened to make me stay here, and that was very, very clear. This island would not let me go.
Amazing. And it's really interesting. I just find, because I've just been back a week this time. I've been coming every year for about 5 years. And sometimes it can actually feel a little bit overwhelming, the amount of people that have this.
Yes.
Because there's so many people coming here for healing and for yoga, which is amazing, but it's quite intense sometimes.
Yeah, but it's really a place where you can really have transformation. This land is very powerful, and it's really supports transformation. So, and I really feel that our evolution, our transformation is activated when you come here. Yeah. So if you really want to work on yourself, if you really want to deal with your situation, then by being here, you really have you're supported by this land, and also you're not distracted by the Western world. You know, the lifestyle in the West that distracts you, and you get caught into the wheel. Yeah,
for sure. And so what about yoga? How did you start on the journey with yoga?
I started a long time ago, but I think when I first came to Bali, that's when I started to have my own practice. I came here, I met a teacher, and I started to practice daily. And
so
I never
Balinese
stopped.
Teacher?
No, it was a Western teacher. And it was a Iyengar style. I have done yoga before in Canada. We have Shivananda in Canada, so I had done Shivananda. I started actually in college, my first yoga class. But I would always go back, but then I would fail out of it and doing other things. But when I came here, something happened. I really started to have my teacher said, you've got to commit to the mat. So she said, you lay down your mat, and every day you sat on your mat. And I followed her advice, and for sure there are days that I don't practice, but
so
most
you
days
just sit on the mat, even if you don't practice. You come and maybe
I
sit
do
on
a
the mat.
meditation, I do a stretch, I do a forward bend. Some day I do a strong practice. Some day I just do a meditation and a few stretch. So it depends, but I do sit every day. Almost every day. There's days that I
don't worry, we're not coming in here to check.
No, but it's what I mean is that some days you feel like doing something else, get out of your habits. Which is also good to it's good to have habits, but it's also good to be free enough to go, okay, today I'm going to the forest all day. Yes.
And how, did you come to yoga and healing, I guess, with some kind of maybe big problems that you identified as problems, or was it just like, okay, I'm feeling like there's something inside that I need to be working on, or something that needs to be revealed or transformed?
At the beginning, no, because I was just doing it because I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But very quickly I realized the healing power when I started to have a daily practice, because what I found out, it was a way to manage my life. It's your lifestyle. And I realized that when I would wake up and sit, I would assess how I'm feeling today. And then through different practices, I was able to shift my vibration. At that time, I didn't understand that, but I was able to shift what I was feeling. Okay. And so I really had an understanding every day what I was feeling. And so I started my day having a better understanding. So if I felt angry, I was aware of that. Okay. So I could work on managing, and investigate,
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have a spiritual practice of any kind, we don't really have any way to do that kind of check-in every morning.
No,
a lot of people just don't actually even know what they're feeling until it kind of maybe explodes.
Yes, well, you see that in people coming to yoga class. They're caught, and then they come to a yoga class, and then these emotions are flooding up, and they don't know where it comes from. They said, I don't know why, but I was flooded with this emotion, but it's because when you go deep inside, when you stop, when you become still, then you start to, but it's a gift. It's like some people get scared by that, but actually it's the gift, because that's when you can release it, you can let it go, because it's been inside of you. I mean, it's strange. If we eat something that doesn't feel good, we'll do anything to let it go. We'll vomit, or we'll take something to cleanse. But when it comes to emotion, we don't want to let them come. They come up, and we just suppress them. But that's what is the gift. So when I see students that is tearing or is releasing, I let them know that I'm there to help them. But I let them do that privately. Because sometimes it's not necessarily the reason or the source. It's just a release. And so you just let it release, and then you feel better. You feel much better.
So it's not so much, I mean, I guess the practice of yoga as a healing journey, it's not so necessary to be identifying with our stories and to be, because there's many routes of healing. You can go to a psychotherapist and talk about your stories, your past, your parents, and everything.
It's also important, but I think that you need to move on. I think that if you know the source, you can let it go. It's a bit like when you have a wound. You need to, if it's infected, you need to disinfect it and clean it, and then you close it, and then you let it be. You cannot. It's like sometimes I find that sometimes Western psychology, they keep opening and closing and opening. What happens is that the wounds start to heal wrong.
And a big scab.
Yeah, it's important to understand, I've been wounded and that's circumstances. That's important to understand, because you have a better understanding of yourself, but it's to get stuck there, to be identified with that. That's the problem. And often people, they get attached to their wound, and it's that becomes their limitation and their healing, because they don't let it go.
And even maybe identified a little bit with the wound, like don't want to let it go because I'm identified as this wounded person somehow.
Yes, but some people they get like you see that in relationships sometimes, like the spouse will take care of the other spouse, and the other spouse is the wounded person, and the other one is the helper, and they're playing a dance, but they're not getting out of that pattern because they keep. But it should be balanced, yeah. So sometimes, it's comfortable for some of us to identify with our wounds. Some of us, it's comfortable to identify with the one that helps. Some people, they always want to help everybody, because they feel comfortable. But it's just they're as wounded as
that's also a path of avoidance.
Yes, it is avoidance as well. Yeah.
So, and also I know that you've seen a Balinese healer. So
yes.
Is that kind of an ongoing part of your journey here?
Well, it was a very important part of my journey. I was able to. I met my teacher, which is an exceptional man, and it started very slowly because at first I didn't know I was studying with him. I was just like I admire him, and
I always wonder how this happens. How do you meet your teacher?
Well, I went to see him, and we started a relationship. Really, it was a friendship. He always said we are friends. He never behaved as he was my teacher. Okay. And the more we were, the more I journey with him, the more I start to see. And then one day I knew that I was going to become a healer, and I told him. Okay. By that time, I had been with him for a long time, and then he said, "Finally!" It's like you get it. It's like yes. And then I started my. I mean, I've always been on a journey, but I was not. That's not how I envisioned myself. That's not how I envisioned my life. I wanted to be a businesswoman, and I wanted. I didn't want to be. You have to think that in those days you didn't have as many healers. I mean, I didn't know any healers in Ubud. I knew him, but I did. It was not a
career path.
Yeah, now everybody's a healer.
Yeah,
but back then I didn't have any role model. So the only role model I had him, but he was almost a mystical person for me. So I didn't think I could do the same thing as him.
Yeah. Okay. So how long did it take to kind of come into that?
It took a long time. It took a long time. Yes.
Yeah.
I met him at 96, and I think I understood, and maybe in 2001, at that time. So many years where I had a relationship, and but I was on a journey, for a personal journey. I really, I came very wounded. I didn't know I was wounded when I arrived here, but I realized I was very wounded. So I really worked on myself, and I really did the work. And he was there for me, and he guided me, and I really did that work. And then things started to shift, and then I realized that I could help people to do the same thing
through that experience.
Yeah, and then I started yoga. In 2002, I became a yoga teacher, and then the yoga became the medium for me to help people.
Yeah.
Because it's a good entryway for the people to start their journey.
Yeah.
And also it gives you so many tools. And I think that's what is, for me, yoga has given me so many tools for my own self-healing. And so I'm so grateful to have yoga. I'm still, like after so long, every day I feel so lucky that I have my yogic practice and my spiritual practice.
I feel the same. So it's, so many tools, like not just the asanas, you have the meditation, concentration.
So many. There's so many. Pranayama, yes, mudras, mantras, so many. There's and so many things that you can, and it's endless. Every time you study, and then you think it's at the end, and then there's another door that opens, and then there's still more things you can study and explore, and it never stops.
Yeah, it's a really amazing journey like that.
Yes, it's yes, and there's, you cannot explore everything, but we all are exploring all of us that are yogis. We explore one part that interests us.
Yeah. So you were here for more than 10 years before you actually opened the studio.
Yes.
Wow. And just getting onto the studio here, Intuitive Flow. So now there's like so many yoga studios in Bali. Probably when you opened there wasn't, but just today I actually saw another one, like a very huge place.
Mm-hmm.
So just tell me a little bit about what makes this place different from everywhere else, because every place is going to attract a different people.
Yeah. I think that we attract people that really want authentic teaching. I know other places do authentic teaching, but there's a focus on here with authentic teaching. I think it's people that are more focused on the yogic practice more than the body. There's a lot, I think in these days and age, there's a lot of people that work on controlling the body. So mastering the body. But in this studio, there's this part of for get healthy, but it's more about releasing and let go, but also mastering the mind and all of this. But it's not so much about we have asana and we do all that, but it's not the focus. It's not necessarily just mastering that body to control the body.
And it's also really quiet and up here in Pakistan.
Yes, and it's just spraying very naturally, organically. Like all the teachers, they're all different teachers, and they all bring something different. They all have different personality. They bring a different piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, beautiful. And also, I'm just interested too, because I actually had a healing session with you a few years ago. You're not offering healing anymore? Or?
Well, at this point, I don't. Maybe I will in the future, but right now, I have so many things that I'm working on that I cannot do everything. I mean, so
Okay. So you offer here classes every day, and then you're also doing trainings.
Yes, I do. We do teacher trainings. We have a level 1, level 2, and I do retreats.
Yeah.
And we have the classes.
Journey.
Yes.
Okay. And how many of the people that come to your teacher trainings are doing that to become yoga teachers?
Well, some of them don't come to become a yoga teacher, but we have a very high rank. I mean, many end up being teachers. Many come to do the training just to improve their practice, and then they end up teaching. We have many that have opened their own yoga studio as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And if people also, I'm just thinking, are interested in maybe finding a Balinese healer, can they come and ask you about that as well?
No.
No, I mean, best to be honest.
Well, no, it's because I find that my teacher is quite old now, and he's already have so many people, from the great ones that I don't send people there. Unless someone really wants to see him, and I never refuse to give him his information.
Yeah.
But he's old, and he's already have so much clients going to see him that. I don't. If it's not necessarily, I don't send them.
Yeah. So for you, the healing journey is yoga. So people come here and they do yoga. Yes, they do yoga. Well, at this point, yes.
Yeah. I think that I teach people to be in charge of their healing journey. So instead, and I think that's what I got from my teacher, is he really empowered me to be in charge of my own journey. And I think that yoga gives so many tools. So that's how I help people to just utilize these tools in their daily life. When they go back to their country and life challenges them, then they can draw upon all these techniques that we've done in class.
Yeah. And you just reflecting on your own journey when you look back, when you started yoga and started healing, do you really see that you're a completely different person now based on what's happened, based on what you've learned?
Well, I'm the same. I'm same person, but I'm different also. I think I'm at peace. I love myself.
That's a big journey.
Yes. I sleep. I'm at peace. So that I think that's the difference. But I haven't changed. My personality is the same. I'm still the same person.
Yeah, but that's a very big difference, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for talking to me today.
It was really nice talking to you.
Namaste.
Yes. Thank you for interviewing me.
And come and visit Linda in her studio and check out what's going on here.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope to meet you soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.